Oh, hello. A quick video from me today at Tabletop Impulse. We're going to be talking about why Kill Team Shadowvaults has sold out to pre-orders in less than 24 hours. I'm going to give you a couple of my first impressions as well, based on the online coverage that we've all been able to consume yesterday. So let's get straight into it. If you are not aware, Shadowvaults is certainly sold out on gamesworkshop.com in the UK. I had a quick look round. It's sold out at the retailer I have an affiliate link with, Element Games, so they've sold out. It's sold out at Dark Sphere, the big discount retailer in London. Now on their website, if you go and look at Dark Sphere, they're saying that the second print run, they're taking pre-orders now against their second print run, which they give a release date of the 1st of December. Nowhere else on the internet is talking about this second print run, as far as I can tell, so maybe they've got the inside track, maybe they're speculating, I don't know. I mention speculation because you have to be careful. One screenshot that you won't see up here is from Wayland Games, or as we call it in our house, Waylaid Games, because some of these third-party sellers, not Element, this is why one of the reasons that I recommend Element, but some of these third-party sellers are less than honest with their stock levels. They will take your money and then they will wait to see they get stock, and then they will send that stock to you eventually. They do not tell you in an open and transparent and honest way on their website how many of these items that they actually have to sell. And Wayland Games, unfortunately, which is why I will never do business with them, they do not give an honest accounting on their website of how much stuff they have in stock at any given moment. So you can send an order and you might not necessarily receive your thing. I've got a couple of other sites on here. So Firestorm Games are offering it for sale. I do not have any experience. I've never ordered anything, I don't think, from Firestorm Games. The reason that I'm happy to send you to Firestorm Games, they're pretty well known, and I know that Lee at Tabletop Skirmish Games has a commercial relationship with them, and he seems like a decent bloke. I don't think he would have a commercial relationship with a company that messes people around, so kind of on the back of his reputation, they are still on stock on Firestorm. And then there's a little local store near where I used to live 8 or 9 years ago called wargamesstore.com. A lesser known store. They are actually giving the full 20% discount, so the same discount that you would get at Element of £88. You can pick it up there. They say they have 5 available. I know the guy that owns the store there. He will, if he says 5 available on the website, he will have 5 copies in his store to sell. So again, I would say that's probably your best bet in terms of securing them. But it could be that after this video has been up for a little bit, those disappear. Now, I will say this is all UK centric. I'm a UK based guy. It's a UK based channel. This whole issue was actually brought to my attention by a friend of the channel, Nightfall, who's based in Germany, and he's saying that there's been issues over there. I am given to understand as well that there have been 1 or 2 issues in the States of it selling out. Let's try and pick apart the reason why this set, which we were all saying is probably the most skippable Kill Team set so far, has sold out so rapidly to pre-order. When in doubt, blame 40k. I think that the terrain and the Kazakin are going to be really hot items within the 40k community. So they've already trailed Boarding Patrol of 40k, and that they're going to be selling this terrain off for 40k players in double-sized boxes. And I wonder if a lot of 40k players have looked at this and gone, this is going to be the cheapest way to get the terrain. You've also got to consider that some of those 40k players will be Imperial Guard fans who want the Kazakin. They may even want multiples of squads of Kazakin, and this is going to be the first place to get those Kazakin, presumably for quite a long while, because remember, we haven't had... We can't buy Kroot. Like if you want a squad of the new Kroot for your Tau army, the separate box hasn't been released. So if you'll play Imperial Guard, and the new Kazakin, from a plastic miniature standpoint, they are utterly sweet, right? If you love Imperial Guard and you love Cadians and you want to get your Kazakins and experience the joy of building them, this is the set that you're going to pick up. I'm also told if I go to my recently arrived copy of White Dwarf and I flick through this, now I'm out of the 40k loop, but there's something in here called Flashpoint Nephilim Necrons Army of Renown, a new variant army list for the Necrons that destroy Heavy Annihilation Legion. And apparently they got some rules content in the last White Dwarf as well. And someone's told me, I've read online, I'm sure, that they're getting some rules content in the next White Dwarf as well. Now, again, I'm out of the 40k loop a little bit, so let me know how competitive or not this stuff is. But my understanding is that Necrons are currently quite popular as well. So this is all match play content for 40k for Necrons. This is extra rules for them, benefits, restrictions. Now this particular list in here, you wouldn't be using your Immortals or your Death Marks, but I think there's been a previous Army of Renown in the previous White Dwarf, and I think there's supposed to be another one in the next White Dwarf as well. So that's pretty cool. And again, it could account for some of the increased sales. It's worth saying that a lot of people doing this will not be doing it for themselves. They'll be doing it for there's a big cottage industry, if you're unaware, of people on eBay who will buy a box for a price, and then they will parcel out the individual components for, usually it's, people get annoyed with it because they see it as a form of scalping. I actually don't think, maybe this is a hot take, I actually think that eBay splitters, so not people who are buying the box and then just selling the whole box for a higher than RRP price. Those people are scalpers, those people are taking the piss. But splitters, people who buy the box, split it out, and assume the risk of being left with piles and piles of whichever part of it is least desirable. I think those people are providing a legitimate service because, yes, they will make a profit. They buy the box for, presumably they buy it from a deep discounter. They buy the box for 88. They sell the component parts. They make a profit because they've got more money for the component parts. But probably also they sell those components individually. You will probably pay less for a 10-man squad of Kazakin from a box splitter than you will eventually pay for a 10-man squad of Kazakin from Games Workshop. So you actually pay, often, it doesn't always work out this way if something is really sought after, but often you will pay less and they'll make a profit and you'll pay less than you would and you'll get it sooner. So I'm not massively down on box splitters, but that said, this whole situation kind of sucks for the Kill Team community. Now, I know I've been down on this box. I've said it's probably the most skippable box. That is from my perspective as somebody who bought Into the Dark. But I'm not saying they don't exist. I've been talking to somebody just now who is definitely in this group. There are people who pick and choose the boxes they buy, who chose to buy Into the Dark, who are not choosing to buy this box, and that's absolutely fine. But I think that if you're someone like me who robotically buys every box, then Games Workshop, doesn't. Me and Zimbad was saying to me, I don't like this box, and then he looked at me and went, but I'm going to buy it anyway, right? Because we're that kind of people. I was having a conversation in the comments with somebody who's like, there's so many orange boxes in my house now I could make stairs out of them. But again, Games Workshop doesn't need to market to us, right? But this box actually is a weak box for people like us. It's actually a really strong box for people who are just looking at getting into the Dark. I think, again, this might be a hot take, I think this is a better starter box for close quarters combat than Into the Dark, right? It's much cheaper, okay? It's much cheaper. The teams are better, and I know a lot of people on the internet are irritated with the Kazakin and the Necrons. They have various problems with them. They're very good or fairly balanced or whatever it is. I think both of those teams are better in every respect than the Imperial Navy versus Kroot. They are much more iconic within the lore of Warhammer 40,000. The models, they embody that 40k IP a lot more. I know that the Necrons are an upgrade kit, but I do not think upgrade kits are a problem. I think what upgrade kits allow you to do is to have a really iconic looking kill team. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I wish the Sisters of Battle kill team had been an upgrade kit for the existing Battle Sisters box rather than a new unit. I really do. I think that even though people are complaining about the rules to those teams, I think that they are better rules than the Navy versus the Kroot. I think, especially for a new player, the Kazakin look like they're going to be quite straightforward to play. The Necrons are very different to anything we've seen before and very complicated. But I think that as a first team, they're still easier to play and win games with than the Kroot. So I think it's a better box from that perspective. It gives you all the terrain that you need to play Into the Dark. It gives you, and I think this hasn't been highlighted. It's been highlighted, to be totally fair to people that are the men with books. It has been highlighted. I don't think it has been necessarily foregrounded enough that the book for Shadowvaults contains. I've taken a screen grab here. I know it's kind of blurry, and I've tried to highlight the relevant parts. It contains the Kill Zone Gallodark. It contains the Close Quarters rules, and it contains the Critical Operations Gallodark mission pack. Now, I know a lot of people who are in that group of people who buy every box may see this as a negative because Games Workshop is selling you, again, reprinted information that you do not need. But from the point of view of the Kill Team community, this is an excellent box because it means that if you buy this box, you have everything that you need to transition from playing open world Kill Team to playing Kill Team within the close quarters confines of the Gallodark. Now, you might say, but Phil, this box does not come with barricades, it does not come with measuring gauges, it does not come with a core rulebook, and that's true. But I would say to you, if you need those things, if you are starting the Kill Team, if you are not coming over from having played open world and this is your first look at Kill Team, yes, you need those things. Go to eBay. You'll find them quite cheaply from all the people like me who purchased Into the Dark and got useless copies of these things that we do not need. And you will still save money picking up those extras from eBay on top of this box from a discounter as compared to buying Into the Dark, right? So I think it's really sad that this box isn't more widely available. Maybe we're going to get that second print run. I think part of the problem is 40k. Maybe Games Workshop just produce less of them as well. I don't know. Really, that's all I've got to say today. So it's a shorter video from me. Let me know in the comments, did you manage to secure your copy of Into the Dark? Or have you struggled? Have you found that places were sold out? You know, I was there on Element Games at 10:01, so I ordered mine. I know that not everybody remembers to be awake and at their computer and kind of has it in their diary. 10 a.m. Games Workshop pre-orders. It is what it is. It's somewhat competitive. You have to be in there, you know, to putting your order in. Obviously, not everybody's life allows that. People have things that some people have commitments they have to do at that time, and they have to do other things at other times. Like, I get it. It's a hobby. It's Plastic Toy Soldiers. If you have something that you have to do of a Saturday morning, then that's what you have to do. Personally, my reaction to watching the content come out of from Glass and Crit and people like that is I'm hyped for the Necrons. They do look like they're going to be really difficult to play, but I have already now been on eBay. I've picked up a Royal... Well, no, in fairness, I was going to... Zimbad has a Royal Warden knocking around and some Immortals and Deathmarks he doesn't want, so he's handing those off my way because he likes to see things painted, you know. And then I've picked up the other Cryptex that you need for Into the Dark. Well, you don't need them, right? I think I might actually first play with the Technomancer, but I certainly would want to have all the options. So once I've finished my... which I still haven't played with, once I've finished my Starstriders, I'm going to be working on the Necrons because I'm going to do them in the classic monotone silver with green glowing effects, because I used to have a Necron army as a small kid, right? So that's what I'm going to do with those. Look forward to my faction deep dives this week. We're going to look at both Necrons and Kazakin based on the screenshots that have been provided now to the community by the early access people, by the reviewers. Those are now in the public kind of sphere, so I'm going to comment on those, which I think is okay in my limited understanding of international copyright law, if I'm providing my own commentary over the top of the pictures. Yeah, so look forward to those later this week, and let me know in your comments if you managed to get hold of your copy. If you want to see those deep dives, by the way, and obviously you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing to the channel. We need less than 100 members now to reach the 1,000 members goal, where monetization happens and all kinds of other little bits and pieces that I've been sort of putting. When we get to 1,000 members and I can make like a token amount of money from advertising, I'll kind of view the channel as a success, and there are certain things I've been putting off until then that I can reveal at that point as well. So yeah, cheerio, folks. Great talking to you, and I'll catch you again probably tomorrow, possibly with the Necron deep dive. All right, bye bye. Have a great day.